So it's no secret, dating in London is the absolute trenches. Trenches. It's the deep depths of hell, basically. And I truly believe it's because of the whole shoot your shot culture. Now, it's one thing being confident and going after what you want. I really respect that. You know what? Do it if you want to. But I think after what I have to say, you might change your mind. I just spent the last 10 minutes going through my little brother's Instagram DMs and seeing all the women sending him, "You're so handsome, please date me." And bear in mind, my little brother's not famous. He's not famous. So for him to have this kind of female attention is, as like an average man, is very concerning. And it's concerning because it's breeding a type of man that wants to be chased. So that means when we're like, why is no one messaging us? Why is no one taking the initiative? Why is no one doing da 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 da? It's because there's about 50 other women begging at their feet, trying to get taken out by them. That's why. So honestly, we need to stop. We need to reclaim our power. We need to stop chasing men. We need to give them a moment to appreciate what we've got to offer. Okay? So stop, please, for the love of God and the love of all the other women, stop hyping up men.
I mean, come on. Let's just look at it this way. Like, you just offer weak ass box to men that already had you, and there is no reclaiming your power. Men have seen the value in most modern women, and what they offer is pretty much a slave deal. So no, ma'am, stop with the virtue signaling and, the sisterhood, because men nowadays, we understand that, you aren't as special as you think you are. So why would a man chase when he can just replace? Doesn't make any sense.
I just got done seeing a client. We're going to do a money count, but I did a double FETISH session, and it was a brown shower, and I sat on somebody's. So he sent $175 as the deposit, and then I have $500 cash here. I seen him for 30 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So what was that altogether? $675 for 30 minutes of my time, and he didn't even stay the whole 30 minutes. So yeah. And if you're wondering how Jess, how are you able to do that? Laxatives. I took chocolate laxatives. Oh, and I just dropped a video with the plug on the spicy site, so if you wanna go over there. There's also videos of me sitting on people's over there as well, so go check that out if you're interested.
I mean, can you really blame her? Can you actually sit up here and blame this Michelin tire man? Like, can you really do that? No. So what's going to happen is the State Puff Marshmallow woman is going to continue to take the money, but no shade at her. Apparently you're taking control of simps, and simps are dumb enough to do this and pay for this. I was thinking, like, maybe that might be the last time that, she gets some money off of this. Like, will she even be able to surpass the time it takes to spend the money without, yeah.
Okay, quick story time of how my baby daddy ghosted me when I was pregnant, and I haven't talked to him in almost a year, and my son is 1. So I was dating this guy in August of 2022. He was down here because he happens to play football, or he did at the time. We dated from August all the way until February when his season was over and he moved back home to California. I found out I was pregnant in like December, January-ish, told him. He wasn't super excited, I think probably because he already has 2 kids, who would be. But things were fine, I thought. I told him I was pregnant. Like I said, he wasn't super excited, but he wasn't super angry either. We kind of discussed what we would do, and I told him, listen, hey, I'm 30. I'm keeping it. I'm keeping him. And honestly, we didn't really discuss it that much further after that. I thought he seemed to be okay with it. So February came around, he moved, I helped him move. Everything seems fine. I start talking about the pregnancy more, and then all of a sudden, ghost, right? Ghost. Don't hear from him again until... So he moved in February. October was the last time I talked to him. So October of 2023? I think, yeah, October of 2023 was the last time I've spoken to him, and it is September of 2024. My son was born in August. I told him my son was born. If you go to my pinned TikTok, you'll see what he says. It says, pretty much do your thing. So that's what I've been doing ever since. Everyone in the comments keeps saying, go, child support, child support, child support. It's really not that easy. I don't know where he lives. So I only knew him living here for work. He moved to California. I have his parents' address. I've served him there twice. Nothing. I guess I have to serve him in person, and that just isn't a possibility. I've texted him. If you look at my Instagram's DMs to him, it's all updates of my son. People keep saying stop updating him, do you? I am doing me, but I also always want to put my son first, and I want my son to always know that I tried.
Hell no. What he's actually going to learn, what you tried to do, was get knocked up and conceive him through a guy who only wanted you for a situationship. But he was so reckless and so dumb and had previous relationships. And not to mention that he didn't even live in the same state. He lived in California. He's a professional football player. You thought it was a bright idea to let him go into you raw. And he thought it was a bright idea. I don't know if you leaving out, possibly you told him, I'm on birth control. And then you're saying, oh, he's not really tripping about it, but he doesn't want to have anything to do with the child. Yeah, the child's going to find out one day that you were just trying to get the bag off of him. And if that child becomes some type of a professional or some type of professional athlete because of the genetics of his father, he's going to learn exactly what his dad went through, but he's probably not going to make the same mistake.
You know, so even if it makes me look stupid or I look like I'm begging or being annoying, I'm gonna beg, I'm gonna be annoying, because at the end of the day, I just want my son to know I tried. Even if my people say he's better off not in my son's life, I want my son to be able to make that decision, you know, and I want him to always be able to say, like, Mom tried, I swallow my pride aside, I'll do what I can if it means that my son is happy. So with that said, my little story time, everyone's like, expose him, expose him, expose him. I've kind of gone back and forth with that just because my son's mental health, you know, I want to put him first, like I said, and I don't want him to ever be embarrassed of something that I did, you know, or I don't want, they do have the same last name, I don't want to put him out there like that, but it's kind of like everyone keeps saying my son deserves help, you know, and I'm doing all I can as a mom. I have almost 3 jobs right now, and I'm doing everything I can to make sure my son has the best life, and I think even without support from his dad, he would have the best life. I have a great support system, but again, with that said, I think he does deserve child support. Like, and you can come in my comments and say what you want, but like, it takes 2. We both did what it takes to make my son, but I'm the only one doing anything. You haven't helped me at all.
He's not doing anything because he didn't want the child. You made the decision for him, as does a lot of women in the United States or in Western countries where they have this, you know, decision where they can make the decision and hold a man liable for that kid for 18 years. Ridiculous. And the other reason is because he's an NFL football player and you tried to come up off of him. You only want the child support because you think, you know, the courts are going to reward you with enough money so you don't have to work again. That's pretty much what this is, guys. But again, it's the man's fault for being reckless and not understanding that she was trying to come up off of his bag.
So with that said, I think I'm ready to expose my baby daddy. And that's messy, and it sounds messy, and I never thought I would come on the internet and be like that because I'm super private as I'm on here ranting about my baby daddy. But in other ways, like, I don't post my son on Instagram. Yes, I recently started posting him on TikTok, but I don't know, yeah, so that's that. I have a bum baby daddy who could help, has all the means in the world to help, but just chooses not to. So yeah, I'm thinking about exposing him, and maybe that'll help with my court case. I spent $5,000 on a retainer for a lawyer, and it's almost up and nothing has happened because we've tried to serve him twice. His parents don't care. They know about him. I've sent his mom pictures. We were friends. Like, we got our nails done together. We went to a game together. I made her stuff, game day merch. So she knows, his whole family knows, but nobody cares, I guess. And my son is so cute, and it hurts that, like, they just don't care. So that's my bum baby daddy story.
I was feeling guilty about some shit I did to a man, and I was talking to my friend on the phone about it, and I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna like email him or text him apologizing. she stops me so quickly and she's like, "Did you beat him?" And I'm like, "Of course not, I didn't beat him. I just emotionally manipulated him." And she's like, "No, you should not be apologizing for that. Like, there's really nothing wrong with doing that to a man." And I don't know, a part of me feels like she's right, but I don't know if it's the old part of me because I'm trying to grow now.
That's the sisterhood. That right there is Satan on your shoulder, and you need to flick, smack, and get that Satan off your shoulder, because the sisterhood, aka the agents of chaos, they want you to provide chaos because they are feminists deep down. They have a lot of feminist ideals that have been programmed into them for a long time now. So they have a really, really like crazy hatred for men, even manipulated them. She has a conscience right here, and she's like, this is wrong, this doesn't feel right. But you got the negative reinforcement coming from her friend, aka, you know, the chat GPT bot of the sisterhood, Satan on her shoulder. And she's like, what is wrong with her? That's your sign to run. That's your sign to get out of there, because those women are miserable. They're going to stay miserable and lonely, and they're going to be bitter when you get a boyfriend or when you start treating a man right, because they don't know how to do it themselves. But yeah, man, just sick, bro. If we were like that, if we were like, oh, that's fine, and we're just open, oh, that's cool, just manipulate her. Women would lose their shit, like without a doubt. But anyway, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you like the video, sub to the channel, post notifications on. I'm going to get back up to cooking this content that you guys love. Thank you guys again for joining me. I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace. And get that passport, because, bro, they probably plotting on you. Peace. I'm out.
If one of us eat, then we all ball. Sip coladas out in Cancun. Please stop praying for my downfall. It ain't coming no time soon. From the concrete, a little bitty rose grew.